In this video tutorial, we will talk about ISP encryptor component, how to set it up and how to use it. It will include all the aspects of its installation, content encryption, license key generation, and how to set up the live meeting encryptions. Right? So let's go ahead first with installation. For that, you refer to the mail which you have received from SPV Tech Ventures. This method is applicable whether you are going to install encryptor for uh, demo setup or whether you are going to install for the production setup. The only difference which happens between demo setup and the production setup is the port number which you will receive, right? So you would have received a mail. In that mail, you will find the application link from where to download the application. And you can click and download the application from here. And I will also recommend you to download the user manual and go through it. Now, once you have downloaded the application, right? I have already downloaded the application. Let me open that. There are few prerequisites which you need to have for that. One is Java Virtual Machine 1.8. This is mostly there in most of the laptops and machines already have it. You go ahead with the installation of encryptor, and if JVM is not installed, it will give you a error or a warning saying please install Java Virtual Machine, right? To install that, you can just go and type JVM 1.8 download, and you will be able to download it based on your machine, and you can install that because encryptor uses Java. Now, you also need to install Python 2.7.6.16. This is optional for install, and it is only needed if you're going to use encryptor to encrypt the file which will be used for streaming purpose. If you're not going to use it for streaming setup, you don't need Python 2.7.16. Right? So let's go ahead and do the install. I have already downloaded the setup from the link provided, and let me go there. So this is the file you get, ISP setup with a particular version number. Uh, you click on it and it will walk you through various steps of installation. Sometime during installation you get this Windows protected your PC. Nothing to worry about it. Just click on more info and say run anyway, right? This can happen for most of the components installer, and once you run anyway, the installer will start running, and you just have to follow the steps. You say yes, and then it will ask you various other things, and just walk through it. You can say create a desktop setup so that it will install you know it will install a shortcut on your desktop. Let's wait for it to install. So installation is complete. You can launch ISP encryptor. Once it is launched, you should just see what is the IP address and port number, because that you need to put it in your system. You go to settings. I already have put it this one and this one. Please note for demo setup, you will have a different port number, and for production, you will have a different port number. So this is something to be taken care of. And you would have received a user ID and password. For this, you can enter the user ID and password, and it will log you in, right? So with this encryptor login is complete. Now you can see the number of licenses allocated, which will be there in the mail. If you have taken a production setup, you will be able to see how many total licenses are allocated and how many are remaining for you always. Once we are done with that, let's go ahead with uh, how to do the content encryption. So to do the content encryption, first you have to structure your content. You will be selling different courses. So you go to any folder and start creating the directory structure. For example, let's say you are selling a CAT course, right? Or a class 10th course or class 1 course. So you create a folder by name class 10, and you cannot change this main folder name after you do the encryption, because everything is dependent on this. So you have to take some time in thinking over and then structuring the courses, right? So you can see in example, there is a class 10. Under that, you can have various, subjects, and under subjects, you can have topics. Under topics, you can have subtopics. You can have any level of topics, subtopics, subtopics here. There is no restrictions on that. And at any level, you can have different kind of files. What are those different kind of files supported by encryptor? MP3, MP4, PDF. These are the three different kind of files supported, right? So once you have set up these things, right, with the folders and subfolders, you are ready now to start the encryption. Few do's and don'ts while creating these folder name and file names is, don't have a very long folder name and very long file name, right? Second one is, don't use any special characters in the folder names and file names like bracket, ampersand, percentage, dollar, because some of the systems don't support it, and it takes time to you know uh, figure out what is the reason files are not playing. So just have a plain names, like as I said, you can have a class name, or you can have a uh, uh, course name, and under that you can have various topics, subtopics, and file names could be a simple one like 1.mp4, 2.mp4, or it could have a smaller names, right? Now once you have done this, you are ready to do the encryption of it. After all the files are there, you go to encryptor and just say package, create new package, and you point it to which folder you have done all these arrangements, and what is the name of the package or course. As I said, remember, the package or course name once you create cannot be changed later, because the license key gets associated with these names. You can later change the file names inside this main package or main folder name. You can also go and add additional folders or subfolders later, but you cannot change this name later, right? So if I just say OK, then it will just open up and show you all the contents of whatever is there in that folder here, right? It doesn't show the subfolder structure here, but it will show you all the file names. And you can see there are 5 file names. If you go here, you will find, for example, if you go to science, topic 1, you find English audio and social, right? So you will see English audio and social. And right side, it will show you what is the total package size. Once you have done this, you are ready to go and write the master package. Okay. You use write master package always, because once you write it, you can distribute it to any number of students. And once package is written, then it is files are encrypted, and these files cannot be opened any using any other players. Right? When you come to write master package, you get two options: non-streaming and streaming. Okay. Non-streaming is used when you want to encrypt the package and provide it to students in the pen drive or in the SD card or in the Google Drive. Okay. Streaming is to be used when you want the package to be written and uploaded on AWS server, where the student should be able to stream it just the way they stream YouTube. Okay. So students don't have to download anything here. They will be able to stream it, all the content, just the way they do it using any other service. Okay, so I'm going to show you, it doesn't matter whether you do streaming or non-streaming. Uh, what happens is, it creates the same similar output, but inside output, the file names and the structure changes. So for examples, I'm going to say non-streaming and a folder here, which means what? It will create a non-streaming encrypted package and it will put inside a folder. So when you say submit, it will ask, hey, where should I go and write these encrypted files? So you can say encrypted, and under that, you can go ahead and, let me select D drive. You can select any drive. Just ensure that there is a sufficient space available in your system, and then you will be able to do that. So I have just created a folder called encrypted, and in that I have already created a folder called cat course hyphen 6036. You can just create a folder called cat course, it doesn't matter. And let's say I'll create a new folder here, and just to show you, I'll select this new target drive, and it will start writing. It take, depending upon how large are the files, it will take few seconds or few minutes to be able to do that. Now, if you see, it has encrypted and created a folder called shield content DND. This is the standard name, and under this you will find cat course and certain additional supported files, and you will find exactly same structure what you found, what you did when you created the course. Under cat course you have maths and science. Under that you have Newton's law. All these things will be same. The only difference is the video file name. If you see, it was mp4, now it has become .eub, right? And if you try to play this file now using any player, right, it won't play the file because it's encrypted now, right? Similarly, the PDF, let me just show you. Let me drag and drop this file, and if you see, uh, it won't play it, right? This, you see, it doesn't play it, right? Now, similarly, if you see, the PDF file will have a different naming convention. Its extension will be different, and EUB will have MP4, MP3, and PDF all will get changed to different extension. Now, this is the folder which you need to distribute it to students. Now, what you can do is you can copy it in the pen drive, SD card, or zip it and put it on the Google Drive, and you can distribute it to students. Right? Now, once it goes to students, they will need a player to play it. I will talk about how to use player in different video and how to install it. Now, what are the other things you need to do here to be able to do that? We talked about methods, do's and don'ts. Now let's go, how do we generate the license key and why license key is needed, right? Now, once student receives the player software and he will also receive this encrypted content, he will still not be able to use it until unless he gets a license key generated by you. So you go, you select the course for which course you want to generate the license key, and then you go and say generate license, and you select this license key should be valid for how many months. After those many number of months, student will not be able to use this content, right? So if you select 6 months, it will generate a license key which will run for 6 months. This will, this says the how many license key you can generate, you want to generate. If you want to generate 2 keys, it will give you, provide you 2 keys. If you want to generate 3 keys, it will provide you 3 keys. There are a few more options here. You can select, rather than saying from today how many months, you can also say from which date to which date you want the license to be valid, and only during that duration student will be able to play the content, right? And there is also option from today or from activation date. From activation date would mean that uh, from the date student activates the license, how many months the content can be used. So let me say from today 6 months, and I want to generate 1 key, it will provide me this key. I can just copy this license key and send this license key in a mail to a student along with link to player, okay, and along with link to from where he can download the shield content, which is the encrypted file, or it can be provided into the SD card and pen drive as well. Right? So once you have done that, if I generate 1 key, one license key is consumed. Apart from generating, I can always see which all the license key generated and which of them are already activated by students and which of them are yet to be activated here. And we can always see how many licenses are remaining in terms of how many you bought and how many of them are consumed. The another important thing for you to is, if you are going to use live classes, if you have bought a version of the tool which allows you to create live classes, even those live classes can be secured, which means When the live class is running, student cannot do a screen recording, he cannot do a screen capture, and it can only work for the student for whom you have allowed. As you understand, iShieldProtect is all about ensuring the content security. It is now letting you, secure your Zoom live meetings as well, right? So you select the course, and the student who will subscribe to this course will only be able to see these live meetings. Others will not be able to see. You say add live details, put the subject of whatever you want to say. You want to say live session one for CAT course, right? Of course, it's part of the CAT course, so you might want to give some other meaningful name description. When is the live session going to happen? What is the duration of it? And what is the source provider? Are you going to do over YouTube or Vimeo or Zoom, right? You can select the Zoom, and you can provide the Zoom URL here, right? Whenever you set up a Zoom meeting, you will see it provides the complete URL. You just need to set up the Zoom URL here and say status as schedule and add that. Once you add that meeting, you will see that meeting in the get live details here. Okay, there is no live session scheduled for this one. Let me show you for GMAT where I have scheduled some live sessions. So you can see all of these are scheduled, right, for different time. And student side, when he will install the player, and when he will, after installation of the player, uh, he will open the package, he will be able to see all his meeting schedules in the right side of the panel. You can also, let's say, if you've scheduled a meeting and you realize, hey, you want to cancel this meeting, you can always go and, let's say, cancel this meeting by setting up as a cancelled. See, this is what is the live URL of the Zoom looks like, where you have something like this and the complete password, and you do that. You can also do it over YouTube, where you need to provide the embedded URL of the YouTube to be able to do that. You can use this also for sharing. If some of the you have some videos in YouTube and you want to share those videos of YouTube in a private mode, you can provide the live URL there and student will be able to see the YouTube videos. If you have the videos uploaded over Vimeo, you can also put the URL of the Vimeo here, and student will be able to see all of these live details in one panel together. And all of them gets protected because student cannot run the screen recorder software and other things. They will not be able to share the meeting ID, meeting detail, or the link of the video URL when you update using this, right? Uh, okay, so apart from that, you have server settings, just the port number. You have these video settings, which is used for when you set up the videos for streaming. These are the fine level changes to be done to be able to, optimize on the content size. You need to do it only in the consultation with the SPV Tech Ventures. Otherwise, your video size will become a little bigger. And apart from that, this Google Drive and Dropbox are there if you want to directly upload your files to the Google Drive and Dropbox directly from Encryptor, right? These are the things. One thing more I want to add here is, let's say initially you had certain set of files as part of your package, cat codes. I know you want to go and add some more files in that, right? That happens a lot of time when you want to provide the incremental upgrade to students. So you get to the core CAT courses, and then you go here, you can add a new folder or you can add a new file. You can do any changes inside here. And after going there, you say package and you say reload package. And what it will do, it will refresh all the files and it will show you the new set of files here. And then you can go and say write master package again and submit it and probably provide a new directory where it will write the new set of files. And once it has written the new set of files, you can go to that and just provide that particular file to students over email and provide the instruction to student that he should go download that and that put inside the particular folder or subfolder and then it will directly appear to the student's application, right? Another thing which I'll quickly touch upon is when you do a write master package and when you select stream, right? So when you select the stream and you write it, it creates a little different structure here when you do the encrypted in terms of the video files. So this is the stream on which I have written. So it will be same shield content DND, some associated files. You will go to GMAT, you will file K2W and Quant Basic. These are the two folders in which the video files are there. And if the video file name is kt1.mp4, if you have written non-streaming, it will just change kt1.mp4 to kt1.ub file. But if you have selected streaming, it will create kt1.ub as a folder, and under that it will have media1 folder, master.mp3uet, and under media.media1 you will have these three files. This is the main encrypted file, rest all are 1 KB. And you see there's a media1 here. That's because there is only one encrypted form. But if you want to provide adaptive bitrate to students in the streaming model, where some of the students who are using it from the lower internet connectivity places where the internet is quite slow, you would select 300 kbps, 600 kbps, and 1000 kbps. And then it will create media 1, media 2, media 3 folders, right? And of course, inside them, it will have the same set of files. But what would happen is this main file media.ts, this size will get reduced, right? So the students who will be using on the lower bandwidth of internet, they will be streaming, a lower size of content, a lower bitrate content than the student who has a higher internet bandwidth connection. Right? So with this, we are done with the encryptor setup and uses. I would highly recommend you to go through the manual as well before you start doing it for production. In case you have any questions, please get in touch with SPV Tech Ventures for further details on that.